Hello.
Hello. Hello. Well, hello.
In 2003, a bold new TV experiment hit our screens, welcoming us to the surreal life.
Hi, guys. I'm Dave.
You're going to be in a house with people you don't know, you've never met them, and cameras are always rolling.
This was going to be a walk in the park.
7 famous people are made to live together in a Hollywood mansion set up just for them, to find out who they really are.
Our boobs are hanging out.
It's really showing the world that celebrities are real people, and it gives the person watching like, oh, they're just like me.
Tapping into the rapidly growing concept of celeb reality, The Surreal Life captures some of the most outrageous celebrity moments of all time.
It was the first time anyone's ever done that before. It was just lightning in a bottle.
But in the relentless chase for higher ratings, the show goes from surreal to really disturbing.
The producers wanted to create a shit show, and they accomplished that.
What happened?
Breathe, fall down.
Come in.
Producers can be devils, and they set these competition matches up. Hey, Jose, par this.
They need to call the police.
I believe that she was high.
You're making a mountain out of a molehill. Oh, go smoke some crack, you crack bitch.
Her calling me a crackhead, she did that to get my nerves up, and it worked.
Producers do what they have to do to generate ratings.
You're a horrible mother.
Right.
Your children are so damaged because of you.
Eat a bag of royal, bitch.
I get it, but at what cost?
I mean, if you ever do that again, I was like, what? You're gonna hit me? What? Just what? He's like, I'm gonna break every one of your fingers. He said that to you?
For the most part, reality TV relies on regular, ordinary people for its drama.
Yo, are you gonna yell at me the whole time? Are you gonna yell at me the whole time?
When you look at the template set by the real world and Bad Girls Club or Survivor,
Jerry, tribe has spoken.
you put people from very different walks of life and very different backgrounds together. They'll, butt heads and have misunderstandings, and drama will ensue.
But the lives of ordinary people you've never met aren't nearly as interesting as the celebrities you think you know, thanks to glossy magazines and the internet. Take Ozzy, for example.
Rock and roll!
The Osbournes was, a pretty pioneering show.
I love you more than life itself. Man.
Just being able to kind of peer into that little world of Ozzy Osbourne and his family was pretty different for the time.
It was the start of this thing called celeb reality. All of this reality TV programming that was centered around the lives of famous people.
In 2003, former Howard Stern producer Mark Cronin hits up the WB network with a groundbreaking idea. What if you stage a Hollywood mansion, stack it full of famous people, and film what happens next?
It's a classic setup is roommates. Let's fill a house with giant personalities. And they all have their different problems and big egos. Put them all in a house together. Can they all figure out, what to buy at the grocery store for dinner?
Celebrities living like normal people for 10 days. No publicists, no entourage, just them in the raw.
It is Valentine in the morning. This is 102.7 KISS FM. There's a new show. It's called The Surreal Life. This is kind of interesting.
I heard about this.
Yeah, did you like this one?
The Surreal Life is the ultimate voyeuristic experience. What's going to happen when they don't have an agent or a manager or an assistant who normally guides them through the day?
These are the rules that I saw in the newspaper. No smoking in the house. There's no access to personal vehicles, no computers, no internet. It's going to be a train wreck.
They're not on total lockdown. They're allowed to make calls, they can have friends over, and they go on producer-planned field trips. But the cameras will be running all the time.
I like setting up the room full of TNT, packing in as much potential disaster as possible, but I'm not going to pick the disaster. I'm not going to dictate the disaster. It's up to you guys to figure out what you're going to do with this situation you're in.
What a great idea for a show.
Cronin isn't leaving everything to chance. Where producers can really influence things is in which celebrities they add to the mix.
The casting directors are definitely like mad scientists, emphasis on the word mad. You get the right cast, that's when the magic happens, that's when you capture lightning in a bottle. You've got to have the loose cannon, the voice of reason. Obviously, you have to have a villain, the innocent, the bombshell.
When I did The Surreal Life, it was probably the hottest time in my career. I had just finished Baywatch and just had gotten Playmate of the Year. It was just kind of like a whirlwind to have all this stuff happening at once. I am Brandy Roderick, and I was a celebrity on season 1 of The Surreal Life.
Hey,
welcome to our home.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you.
Me too. The thing that got me to say yes to the show was the people that were going to be in the show. They told me that MC Hammer would be in the house, and I was like, yes, hell yeah, I'm gonna go. Oh my God, I've been waiting to meet you. I was excited to be in the house with Vince Neil because I was a huge Motley Crue fan. Love Girls, Girls, Girls. Plus Corey Feldman I had known, for years. And I'm a huge fan of Emmanuel Lewis. And then Gabrielle Carteras, she was a 90210, right? So I was, of course, very excited to be a part of the house with her.
A surreal start for sure, but there's one roommate still missing, and she's the one who's supposed to shake things up.
Who's the seventh person? What's your name? The seventh person is from Survivor. She likes to do reality shows.
I didn't know anything of Jerry. All I knew is that Hammer actually had said that he had heard that she was a bitch.
Survivor was just on full speed ahead.
I got a few other tricks to pull out of my sleeve.
It was still, I think, the most watched TV show in America at the time. You knew about me because I was on the covers of magazines and tabloids, just everywhere. I'm Jerry Manthe, and I was on season 1 of The Surreal Life. I didn't realize until the day that I was getting picked up and taken to the set that what they had in mind for me was for me to be the villain of the house.
There's nothing fair about this.
Jerry's famous as Survivor's supervillain, but that means she enters the house with extra baggage.
To me, Jerry Manthe was, a reality star. And if you were in a reality show, you weren't considered a celebrity. You weren't an actress.
None of us know who she is, and she's not part of our society as we know it. I don't understand why she would be part of this group.
And producers do everything they can to drive that wedge deeper.
We're here. I get there and I go to the front door and I knock. And there's no answer. Is anybody home? Let me in. And then Brandy opens the door and she doesn't seem very happy to see me.
Everybody's just eating.
Then she walks me into the kitchen and they're all sitting at the dinner table, just having finished dinner. And I was just like, what is going on? Like, I missed dinner? You didn't wait for me? Like, it was so confusing.
Oh, she's coming. Somebody's coming. Yes, is here.
It was very clear that I was being set up. And the first thing I thought was like, oh my God, this is horrible.
I almost dropped my dog.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That would have been a treat.
Everyone wanted to see me blow up and be explosive so they could all sit there and go, see, we told you she was like that. And The Surreal Life was just another opportunity by the producers to try to push me into being that villain person, but that's not who I am. I adapted to the situation and turned it in my favor. I sat down and I opened the conversation. I said, go ahead, everyone, ask whatever it is you need to ask. Let's just get it out of the way.
You know what? It was important for me to come in here and not expect anything. And, I heard all the rumors and stuff the same way you guys, you did your research, heard too.
Right. I mean,
go ahead, just say it. I've heard it all.
I'm serious. No, I promise you that we can fix this.
And then I think that kind of helped break the walls down.
You want to get up there?
That was an eye-opener for me to see myself being snooty about, Jerry Manthe coming in and like, she's not an actress, she's not a celebrity. But of course, as soon as she came in, instant friends, she's adorable, I love her, and I was young and dumb at the time, That was a good lesson for me.
The tension around Jerry's casting never quite reaches boiling point. Instead, Season 1's entertainment comes from the cast being dropped into the real world.
Praise the Lord, church.
For surreal effect.
You can tell who's never been camping before.
Watching just kind of the first season of The Surreal Life, it's almost like watching a nature show.
MC Hammer's here, and they're all buying food. It's really funny.
It's almost just watching people who've kind of like stumbled in front of the camera and are just kind of living their lives and oftentimes just having fun because they're like meeting new people. And there's this sort of like naturalistic element to it that it's really hard to find nowadays.
Don't forget there's tax, you guys. And that's where taxes.
On food?
Yes.
We probably did get off easy because the producers did not know yet how to manipulate the situation.
Producers might be disappointed about the lack of conflict, but they do manage to capture some authentic human moments from cast members you'd least expect.
We had just gotten done with dinner, and we were told to go into the living room, and there were these fortune cookies.
And Vince opened up his, and his was to open up about a hardship in his life.
Sometimes life hits you with a feather, sometimes it hits you with a brick. What was a brick in your life? The brick was the death of my daughter. She was 4 years old, a daughter of cancer.
He's perceived as like this rock star, partier, but never judge a book by its cover.
Fathers are there to protect their children. And when you're not there to protect your kid and you have no way to protect them, that's the worst thing in the world.
It really was disarming, and I was very impressed by his bravery because at the end of the day, we're on TV. I think season 1 gave everyone in that house the opportunity to be their true, authentic selves and to be better understood so that some of those negative things that had happened in their past they could let go of and move on from. It was season 1, I think, to me it was the best season.
Season 1 does enough to get renewed, but to satisfy a drama-hungry audience, they must find a way to raise the stakes.
How do we keep this momentum going? We got to give them, crazier challenges. We got to cast crazier celebrities. We got to have bigger, shocking things happen.
I'd never met a porn star in my life.
Thanks to Ron Jeremy, Tammy Faye, Eric Estrada, and Vanilla Ice, Season 2 delivers with higher ratings and more shock factor.
Danny Bonaducci was supposed to do the show. Now, would you do the show if you knew he was doing it? And then why not?
I'd actually like to whip his fat, punk-ass mouth. He's a pussy.
From that point, there's no going back.
The difference between the first season and the seasons to come was that the producers wanted to create a shit show, and they accomplished that.
I got that big arm watch.
Anybody need a haircut? They need to call the police. Stupid cracked outfit.
When Season 3 rolls around in 2004, The Surreal Life has changed networks. It's now on VH1, a cable music channel dipping its toe into the highly competitive celeb-reality market.
Hi, Nicole.
Nicole?
I'm Harris.
Glad to meet you.
Do you get used to the smell?
Oh, yes.
I hate this.
In order to cut through the noise, producers are looking for the right mix of cast members who can ignite their celebrity experiment into a ratings winner.
My manager pitched it to me this way. Okay, here's the setup. You're going to be in a house with people you don't know, you've never met them, and cameras are always rolling. Sounds good. Yeah, that'd be a real challenge. That's where I was. Game on. I'm Dave Coulier. You may know me from Full House or Fuller House or someday Fullest House, who knows. I was a cast member on season 3 of Surreal Life. Psychologically, it's a little bit of a mind bender. Just knowing that you're being watched, and I've been watched since the early parts of my career, but this was all points of your day, from breakfast, lunch to dinner, so this was a little bit of a different animal.
Dave enters the house alongside musicians Ryan Starr, Jordan Knight, and Charo. But building on what they've learned, casting producers make sure to add some guaranteed friction. And in Flavor Flav, that's exactly what they get.
My name is Flavor Flav. I'm with the rap group Public Enemy. I love being the center of attention, G. I just like stealing the show.
I was a Public Enemy fan. When I saw Flav, I kind of had to contain myself. Like, dude, you are really cool.
Flavor Flav's done Hard Time more than once, and he's happy to play to type.
Rapper Flavor Flav was arrested today for multiple parole violations.
Flav is driving back, Pete.
When I saw Flav wearing his jail clothing, I thought, I don't think he's taking this all that seriously.
But Flav isn't the only potential showstopper.
Hi, everybody. It's Bridget Nielsen. I'm ready to boogie and destroy your town.
Brigitte, she was married to Sly Stallone. I mean, it doesn't get much bigger than that in Hollywood.
You a big one, lady. You big. Oh,
You thought? Yes, exactly.
yeah, man.
How we know who's the boss?
Damn. Yeah, me. The short guy. The short guy.
It's clear where season 3's drama will come from, as even before episode 1 is over, Brigitte and Flav are pushing each other's buttons.
The ones with the
You
tea.
know why I come across sharp?
Let me see. That is ridiculous.
Flav can light it up. I mean, he can definitely ratchet up the energy, and so can Brigitte.
When I talk,
I hope you took some nasty
when I
shit. Check
speak,
this out. Wait a minute. Wait.
Shut up.
Brigitte could start a fire in a desert. And just hearing a couple of their exchanges, I thought, oh man, this is water and oil. This is fire and gasoline. This is a lot of things.
Do I make a good spokesman with you?
No.
Me and this lady getting off to a rough start.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, but I don't like that.
The stage is set for an explosive 10 days. And with alcohol added to the mix, producers are pushing to capture the unfiltered, uninhibited version of these celebrities on camera.
There's wine right over there.
You want white? There's everything there. I'll have a Jack Daniels, please. No, it's so difficult to open. Let's do the body. That's good too. So we'll do that.
There's a reason why there's so much alcohol on reality shows. You know, it makes people very uninhibited and entertaining to people who are sitting at home on their couch.
I knew they were serving booze, so my main focus was don't drink. But as a producer, you want to produce the most eclectic, crazy show you can, because that's what's going to bring viewers. And so that becomes part of the experiment.
Rather than descending into conflict, though, the show takes a very different turn.
I love to be naked all the time. It's the European way.
When you realize those cameras are going to be on 24/7, you really have to kind of take stock in yourself and say, do I want to expose myself that much?
Brigitte Nielsen with a big tits hanging around. I hope she don't think this is a surreal porno.
I wasn't going to walk around the house naked. I wasn't even going to take my shoes off.
It's a startling glimpse into a world-famous celebrity's true personality, and it's got everyone's attention, especially Flav's.
Hey, you know what? I'm scared I could fall in love with you, G. For real.
When I saw Brigitte and Flav get together, I thought, okay, well, that's cool, good for them. But I also knew that it was two wildfires coming together.
Mr. F, are we gonna go swim today or not at all?
If the weather permits it, my dear.
It was definitely oddly paired, right? I mean, she's so tall and statuesque, and he's, a little bit shorter. But I thought it was a really sweet relationship.
Oh God, what is he gonna do? I didn't say that.
That's gonna be
No. This may not have been what producers intended, but they quickly become an on-camera item. And the closer they get, the more outrageous their behavior.
Philly, you know what? When it comes down to you, baby, I got the present right here, baby.
Well, I feel it.
Hey, oh, you do?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, snap.
One of the things that draws us to reality TV is this sort of ability to kind of gawk at the train wreck, to remind ourselves that we are not part of the train wreck.
Man, this lady is at it, boy, for real. She must really be jet lagging.
I think it was more booze lag than jet lag.
We do have this complicated relationship with the rich and famous where we love them, but we love to see them fall, and we love to feel this smug superiority to them.
What happened?
What happened? Breathe, fall down.
Come here, come on.
And that is absolutely happening in a show like The Surreal Life.
How you feeling? You all right? Bridget?
Yeah, I'm okay.
But just when the audience thinks they've seen everything,
I'll see you tomorrow.
Brigitte and Flav take it what looks like all the way.
We kind of got to pick our rooms and who we were rooming with, and so when it ended up being me and Flav, I thought, well, we might get some bonding time in here.
Good night, John, boy.
Good night, John, boy.
So I'm getting along with my buddy Flav, we're talking, we're laying in bed. It's like two brothers telling stories at night before they go to sleep. And then Brigitte comes into our room.
Bridget climbs into my bed with me. And I'm like, whoa!
You're crazy.
Oh, yeah?
It's all right.
Okay. Thank you.
I love you, man.
And they start to get busy. And I'm thinking, this is not happening with me. So I decided to move. And I did. I moved into the closet next to the bathroom. Nighty night. I remember Flav ripping into me. He's like, Dave, you moved into the bathroom. My boy, Davey, Dave. I just knew, okay, this is a safe haven from you and Brigitte and your shenanigans at night. So I was cool with it.
I think the producers were really lucky that they got that. I mean, that's like, gold for them. They struck gold with that one.
This is the best way to go out.
Brigitte and Flav's steamy Season 3 escapades have helped put VH1 on the celeb-reality map.
I love you.
The network moves to quickly capitalize on this success with a number of wacky spin-offs, Flav and Brigitte's strange love among them. Meanwhile, Surreal Life Season 4 offers up yet more bizarre celeb behavior.
Baby.
And another dash of romance.
I'm in love with a Brady.
So for Season 5, producers look to spice it up even further. This time, the mission is major conflict.
In any good storytelling, you have conflict and resolution. And to start with conflict, you have to have disagreement or worlds in collision.
They wanted it to be explosive. And there's two sides of the celeb reality coin. The celebrities who were famous for one thing and then became more famous for their reality TV second act, and then the people who started as just reality people and then became celebrities.
Alongside baseball star Jose Canseco, model Caprice Bure, Peppa from Salt and Peppa, and actor Bronson Pinchot. Producers bring in two of the biggest villains in the reality genre.
I looked around myself and I saw who was in the house, and I knew I needed to be the protagonist.
You put me in a group of people, you have no idea what's going to happen.
Somebody has to be the protagonist to get more airtime. The more airtime you have, the bigger you're going to come off.
You put me on a show. Honey, it's going to the top.
I'm Janice Dickinson, the world's first supermodel. And I was a contestant on season 5 of The Surreal Life.
My name is Omarosa, and I was the star of season 5 of The Surreal Life.
At the time, I was doing America's Next Top Model.
Face is good, foot bad.
I was the Simon Cowell of fashion.
I went on The Apprentice, and I rerouted that GPS to fame, honey.
Yeah, you gotta think strategically, boo, because you're on the wrong side of Omarosa today.
And I am the pioneer of villainy on reality TV.
It's a clash of the reality titans, The Apprentice's breakout star, and the queen of the fashion mean. And they don't disappoint.
Omarosa, what's been the most difficult thing about living in this house?
I have 2 words for you. Janice Dickinson.
What were your first impressions of Janice?
Who's that? Who? You got a picture of her?
My roommate was Omarosa, and I thought, can they just get me another roommate, like right away? I knew it was going to be a disaster from the beginning.
Omarosa is arguably the archetype for someone who is known for being a reality TV villain. That's her career. I don't know what Omarosa did for a living before she went on The Apprentice. She's a professional reality star, professional TV villain.
Yeah, to your left!
Janice Dickinson became famous for being this kind of kooky persona and kind of the mean judge on America's Next Top Model. She is so brittle and nasty at times.
Oh, Janice, shut the f*** up.
I never speak that way to you, Miss Thing. You say it to me one more time.
I mean, listen, shut up.
The producers knew what they were doing. They wanted to have these women fight. They wanted to have these women at each other's throats.
You know what? If I didn't get fired from Trump, I wouldn't have the pleasure of meeting you.
There you go. Another reality show winner.
Oh, there was definitely a sense of competition for airtime between Omarosa and myself.
What the hell happened? Oh my, they went at it. That was awesome.
Casting Omarosa was a stroke of genius on the producer's parts because she would be the bad guy to my bad guy.
I didn't go in as that. That does not capture what I bring to a show. Oh no, honey. It's beyond villainy.
Hi, sweetie.
God, you guys rock.
Good morning.
Welcome to Cottontail Weirdo.
The first major conflict comes thanks to Janice and her daily makeup routine.
It's important for me to maintain a level of what I look like on television because that's my bread and butter. So I had that written into the contract that they were supposed to help me out with hair and makeup. It really disturbed a lot of people on the show. I remember Omarosa was very jealous.
Janice was the only person who was allowed to have hair and makeup come to the set in the morning.
There's another shower. Just go to it.
No, there is a woman for that.
Well, then go use a hose.
It was worked into the show that my hair and makeup glam team was going to get underneath Omarosa's skin. So I remember her sitting down in my seat, and she said, I'll be next. And I said, no, you're not going to be next. These hair and makeup here are for me. So get up.
Janice has set up with her glam squad in our bathroom, so I had to go into the restroom with Caprice and Peppa and Jose because little Miss Janice, I'm a supermodel, I'm a supermodel, I'm a supermodel, is hogging up the bathroom.
It's only the second episode, but the animosity between the two is fast becoming season 5's main plotline. According to Omarosa, however, Janice's performance may have been enhanced.
She was always going a little wacky around the same time every single day.
What the hell is she doing? What is she doing? She's a mess.
Hey, Jose, par this.
I believe that she was high. Where is she getting it from? Someone was giving her a consistent supply of these drugs. Let me tell you how I know. She was my roommate.
So the first encounter I had where she went a little cuckoo, I'm like looking in drawers, and there's just a drawer full of things. Pills and, a mirror with residue.
Janice denies taking drugs on the show. She says if Omarosa did find anything, it had nothing to do with her.
I was probably still drinking alcohol back in those days, but drug addiction was part of my past. I was over that.
Omarosa goes public with her suspicions in dramatic fashion during a publicity shoot for the show, in which the producers are clearly looking to stoke the flames even further.
I remember that day actually starting out as a pretty relatively normal day in this real life house. And then they wanted us to get dressed for a photo shoot.
We have a new prop for you.
He's like,
Perfection. Perfection, guaranteed.
All right.
You guys want some cake? Who's on a diet? I'm sure you are, Omarosa. Because you look so good in that gown.
There was this big cake at the table that I was supposed to be probably Mama Janice, dividing the pieces amongst the rest of my family on the show.
Janice, if you will, between Omarosa and Caprice.
What would you like me to do here?
I look in her eyes and I think to myself, this woman is high as a kite. And you can imagine what happened next.
Anybody need a haircut? A little trim with my little butcher knife?
That's actually sort of feeling out.
Okay.
She's facing me about this close, and she's waving the knife in my face.
Don't say it. I don't even like it. You're a good
I promise.
No, listen to me. She needs to get away from me with the knife. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. She's got 2 seconds.
Okay, we're gonna get rid of it.
Why would you hand a woman who's clearly under the influence of whatever, pick your poison, a very sharp, very real knife?
Excuse me, I never said that word. A crackhead play with a knife. I don't. Excuse me. Try it. You know what? Who's the crackhead here? Let's guess. Excuse me. Let's guess.
Oh, it used to really make me upset her calling me a crackhead. Crackhead is like scraping the bottom of the barrel as far as drugs. I've never done crack in my life.
Guys,
dude, they asked me to hold the knife right here.
not now on my set.
I'm not backing up.
For her to pick a name, crackhead, and keep needling me with this word, she did that to get my nerves up, and it worked.
Please, Omarosa, it's just a joke.
Careful.
You know, like your wedding dress. It's just
leave her alone. Stop it.
It's a joke.
Stop it.
It's just a joke.
Stop it. No, just put that down.
The Surreal Life Season 5 photo shoot is falling apart as producers rush in to do damage control.
We need to call the police. She is on drugs. You know, I'm not on drugs. High-sedity bitch. You know, I'm on. I resent that. I really resent that. Okay, good. You know what? I really resent that. Mrs. Omarosa, I was just doing as I was asked.
Yeah, I was just being me, and everyone was just like going off following Omarosa. That's not how it was intended to go. Or maybe it was, and maybe I'm the sucker.
Stupid, cracked out bitch.
It's important to make it very clear that this was a prop. It wasn't your regular kitchen knife.
You don't think you could go say you were sorry?
Hell no. It was
She's gonna leave the show.
Let her. What was going on through my mind was, this is unfair. You know, this was given to me to use. She had nothing to be afraid of. It was plastic.
Guys, you just did look at.
Yeah, I'll take full responsibility.
Go talk to her. Now. You go talk to them, man. I was just doing his practice.
I don't play with knives. I don't play with guns. I don't play with things like that.
You're making a mountain out of a molehill. Oh, go smoke some crack, you crack bitch.
I suppose Omarosa is afraid of knives.
There's situations in reality TV that can serve as triggers, and this was just one of those triggers for me. I grew up in Youngstown, Ohio, It's a steel mill town, or it was a steel mill town before it closed down, and our community was hit with a really big economic impact. And there was this dangerous cocktail of poverty and violence and despair. And my family, we've experienced some really difficult things. I've lost my father, I lost my brother. They both were murdered in Youngstown. I had a cousin that was shot outside of a park just a year and a half ago. It's a big part of who I am and where I'm from. And Janice waving the knife in my face was a trigger. And I'm so grateful that I didn't react the way I was feeling inside, because if I reacted the way I felt, then it might have been a whole different outcome, a much more dangerous outcome than if I was just able to kind of pull myself together.
Okay, I know how to clear a room.
I think we got our shot.
Thank you.
When the producer said, "I think we got our shot," I think that sums up that scene. They ran that promo of Janice with that knife over and over again. The posters for the show was that scene. The billboards were that scene. You know, they got exactly what they wanted.
Their argument provides season 5 with its showstopper moment, but the conflict doesn't end there. On the very last night, the cast are outside having a barbecue. Everyone is present except Omarosa. When out of nowhere, Janice reveals a dark secret.
It was sunset on the top of this mansion, and it was a beautiful moment. Then the subject somehow got onto my book. Have you read it?
Your book? No.
No, my father was a pedophile.
It just happened when I started to open up. And once again, one sentence after another followed with unfiltered, brutal honesty.
He was a dark, angry guy.
That's awful.
To be forced to have a pedophile for a father is probably the most horrific thing that can ever happen to a child on earth, bar none.
I decided to open up on the show because people don't know that side of me, and they don't know that it was difficult growing up, that it was abusive. I think they saw a side of me that was really real, because my childhood shouldn't have happened to anyone, and it happened to me, and I survived it.
Janice's revelation shocks everyone, except Omarosa, who isn't there to hear it.
I was in our bedroom. Janice and I shared the same bedroom, and I was packing to leave because this is the end of the series. And so I was packing, and they were a little upset that I wasn't taking part of this group meal outside. And so a producer came and said, "You've got to go and join the group." And the timing couldn't have been worse. So I walk out, and she says my name. I just heard, and that's something about Omarosa. That's about the extent of what I heard. And then I just let loose.
Surreal Life Season 5 is continuing its downward spiral, right down to the very last night of filming.
You think I can't take on Omarosa? I grew up with a pedophile. Hello. Speaking of the devil.
What is that?
You know a lot about the devil, don't you?
No,
your
you're the
children
devil.
hate you. They must hate you. I feel so bad for your kids. I really do.
Whatever.
You must be a horrible mother to them. Wow. Whew. I walked in the worst. That's my first time watching that.
Thank you for all that. I'll be over here. The salad was off the hook. You rock. Pedophilia, deep subject. And I am a great mom. You good night.
No, you're a horrible mother.
Right.
Your children are so damaged because of you.
Eat a bag of royal, bitch.
Ooh, I can be nasty too. Shows that I can be nasty. That's a nasty side of me. She really did pull that out of me. And that is just out of control, that she would have the nerve to say that I was a bad mom. I know in my heart of hearts that I am a great mom, and I'm considerate and loving towards my children, and they get the best of me. So she can kiss my ass for saying that I'm a bad mother, because I'm not.
I mean, let's just all take a step back and take a look at it. Why was I sent out there at that moment? Why did they have me walk into the backyard at that exact moment? Just look how perfectly it was timed. You can't even make this up. I had no idea she was talking about what her father did to her or the harm that he inflicted on her. All I heard was her talking about me at that moment. My heart goes out to her because she was sharing with them. And I don't think the producers wanted her to have a moment where she got to have an uninterrupted, just bonding moment with those guys. That's too bad.
In the end, there's no clear winner or loser. Season 5's highly combustible celebrity experiment has run its course.
Here's the thing about season 5. I think it was a kind of be careful what you wish for thing. It just became the Omarosa and Janice show. And it wasn't fun. It must have been so miserable to be in a house with these women who were at each other's throats, crossing lines with saying really nasty things for each other. It got dark, and I just thought that they went too far with it.
The Surreal Life ends up running for one more season before being canceled in 2006. It's recently been renewed and has a new life on MTV.
My teammate my wife. I had to go play a game that night.
But Janice and Omarosa's feud is still what it's best known for, setting the bar for all the conflict-driven shows that followed.
I'm sure there are some people who really liked it. There's a lot of people who like to see bitches fighting. I'm using that term to say what other people would say. I don't like that. I don't like playing into this stereotype that strong women don't get along.
No, it makes me feel like a used puppet. Producers can be devils, and they set these competition matches up. They script the whole thing for themselves, and then we just have to be these puppets that play into their master scheme of must-watch reality show. But I signed up for it. I knew what I was getting myself sort of into.
I love reality TV, and I don't believe that I would have had such a long career if I did anything else but give my fans exactly what they want.
And in today's world of celebriality, giving the audience what they want, whether it's real or not, is the name of the game.
How I sleep at night is that people come to these shows, they know what reality television is, they know the risk involved, and they've weighed that risk and benefit. I would say in general, the people who do our shows, they end up getting what they came for. There is a lot of dishonesty from me to them, but in the end, I think it all comes out in the wash.
It is pretty fascinating now, the turn, and how much money these reality stars can make. And, more power to them. However you can, get your game on and make your money and do what you enjoy and what's fun, go for it. I think it's awesome.
Gary to the left!
Gary, to your left!
I know that actors will argue that doesn't require any talent to be on a reality show, but that's not true. You still have cameras in your face constantly, and there is an art to just being yourself and not letting a camera change your behavior. And if you do change your behavior for the camera, you better be really good at it.
I hate to point out that the biggest reality TV star in the world also occupied the Oval Office. I mean, there's no limit to what we can do.